I see a lot of posts about like all the ways you can use chat. You're not using ChatGPT the way you should be to its full potential, dum-dums. Hello, welcome to Fangirl Feels. My name's Tanya.
My name's Olivia.
And we're Fangirl Feels. Every week we give an emotional analysis of all of our favorite books, TV shows, movies, music, etc., of all the things that we're obsessing over that week or during our lifetime, to be honest.
It's a lifetime thing. Being a fangirl is not, it's not a short term. It is a lifelong commitment.
It's a lifestyle, not a phase.
It absolutely is a lifestyle. I mean, we're in our 30s now. Like, we've committed at this point. We didn't choose this life. It chose us.
We created a business around, like, we're serious. That's how serious we're
I mean, arguably my art is a business around just being a fangirl. So yes.
No, you're exactly right.
It's how I got popular with my art, is just fangirling over shows and books and whatever.
Olivia's tagline for years now, right, has been crying over fictional characters. You have like
I've
a
made
t-shirt.
Literally made it a part of my brand, because I'm not lying when I say that. I have cried over fictional characters. Haven't we all?
I think so. I think so. I hope so. If not, you can't listen to this podcast. I think the criteria is, have you cried watching, reading something? If not, this isn't for you.
I've actually, like, my mom makes fun of me when I cry over like a movie or show or something. Because like we watched Ted Lasso together, and I'm sobbing at like every episode, because how could you not? And she'll be like, she'll look at me and she'll be like, "What is wrong with you?" And I'm like, "What is wrong with you? I'm not the weird one here."
Right.
I'm normal.
These like smart creators and writers literally wrote these scenes for you to cry. I cried too. Like, we're not the odd ones out. They just designed this for emotion.
Yes. Like, that's the point. I'm like, I don't know what it's like to not cry at these things. And if I'm not crying at something that I think I should have, I'm like, something's wrong. Something happened. I need to like
off week.
Yeah, I'm like, I need to go to therapy. Like, why am I not crying? This is not good.
Therapist, I'm not crying enough. Help.
I'm not even kidding. I had this concern for a little bit. It's like, oh, I haven't cried in like a month. Do I have a problem? 1 month.
1 month.
And it's like, I just didn't have anything to cry over for a month, and that was weird for me.
That's a long time, to be honest. I know we're really similar in that, like, I don't even know if we've talked about this, but like I cry just to release. Like it's in like, I know people who don't cry, they might think that you're sad. And it's not always that I'm sad. It's just that like, it's literally pent up feelings.
Yes.
And once it's gone, I'm like, all right, let's go on a walk. Let's go jog. Like I'm fine. But for other people, they might think, oh, you're sad and you're depressed. And it's like, no, it's just how I regularly manage my emotions and my feelings.
Yeah, it's not anything. It's really normal to me. Like, it's just a normal part of my like emotional experience, especially it won't even be necessarily something like, yes, there's like a bent up of like emotions, but oftentimes too, I'll just be like scrolling TikTok and I see a sad video and I'll like cry in the morning because I watched that. And then, you go about your day. But there was a period of time where I like noticed that wasn't happening. I was like, I haven't cried over a video or a show. I haven't cried at all. I'm like, this is weird. I like haven't cried in a little bit. That's strange for me. Yeah.
What was the thing that made you cry after that period?
Oh, I don't know. I think I was just like, it was like back to regularly scheduled programming. Maybe I like watched something and I was like, oh, okay, I'm good. I can cry. I can cry again.
You probably got on Kitten Talk and started crying. I bet that was it.
Yeah, I think it was something like that. But I remember when it happened, I was like, I don't know what the video was, but I was like, okay, this is good. Because I was like trying to force it for a little bit too. I was like, I have to cry. I have to cry at something. You can't force it either.
You can't force it. It has to come naturally. Yeah.
Yeah. It came back. We're good now.
Speaking of, good segue, we can talk about the things that we've recently found that cause us to have emotions and cry, or not, or it was just something that we enjoyed. So what have you been into recently that you want to talk about?
Yes, I'm still on Tears of the Kingdom. There's a reason why tears are in the title, and I figured that out, and that's sad. I didn't cry because I'm not a big Zelda fan. Like, I don't know much about Zelda, but I was like, oh, that's sad. So I discovered that, like the actual storyline. But I also started watching Queen Charlotte on Bridgerton, or like Queen Charlotte from Bridgerton on Netflix. And that is sad. That's a sad one. Yeah.
Did you get to the end?
No, I've watched like 4 episodes yesterday, so I don't know how far I am. I don't know how many there are, but it is depressing for sure.
Okay, let me know. I finished it. I agree. I liked it a lot. I thought the actors have really good chemistry. They did A plus for casting, and I did cry towards the end. It's funny because you know what happens, but like still, they just did such a good job with the writing and everything.
Yeah, I agree. The actors have good chemistry. I like them a lot. I appreciate seeing. I know Bridgerton, the whole point was like diversity without it like them touching on it, but then with this season, they're like telling you like how it got to that point, which was like interesting. It was like, oh, I didn't know that this is like how it happened. So I do appreciate that. Yeah, learning. There's some part sometimes I just don't like Bridgerton's choices. Like some of the writing choices I just don't love, but I do like this one more than I expected. So yeah, I am enjoying it.
I agree. We've talked about we should do a Bridgerton episode because we've talked about like the bees. So hilarious that was a whole central plot.
I do not. The bees is so weird. And then like the bee thing with it just I don't like any of the bees.
No bees.
Keep the bees out of it.
Save the bees, but not on our content.
No. And like I don't in the last season with like Anthony and Kate, and there was like a scene where he like smells her as she's walking away, and I'm like, I don't like this. I don't like these choices being made.
They were trying to pull out a Mr. Darcy hand moment. I know it. I know with every episode they're like, we got to recreate that some way.
But that was a once in a lifetime thing. Nothing can be recreated. And that had so much meaning in the way that he like flexed it. Oh, it's beautiful. The sniffing thing is just weird. No one does. That's not a normal human thing. You don't like sniff people like that. I don't know.
And I can't imagine people were showering. Actually, I know from like reading like from history, like Europeans for sure didn't shower that often. And so like they probably didn't smell that great. And so just funny, historically, nobody's doing that.
No. I mean like maybe she had a really nice perfume on, but you're not going like yeah. She's walking by.
Like people can see you stop.
Yeah. And like just really weird writing choice. Did not like.
Yeah. And creepy if a man did that. I like if your friends saw it, they'd be like, get him away. Yes. Something's wrong.
That guy's a creep. I agree. Yeah. So there's just things like that. Really odd writing choices that I do not enjoy. But it's been fun. I like it.
That's good.
Yeah. What about you? What are you into?
What have I been getting into? So it's been a while since we've been recording. So if anyone's been keeping up with our episodes, I took a week to cover the Succession series finale with my brother because Olivia doesn't watch the show, and that's okay. So I took a week to talk to my brother. He has a whiskey account called 2 Ounce Whiskey, and I did his branding. So everyone, if you watch this, go flood his comments. Great branding. I wonder who did it and then tag me. Yeah, I did his branding with James. James is my partner. He's a graphic designer. But I did, honestly, I thought of the concept and James helped me just refine it. And
that's great.
I didn't get I don't get any of the
credit.
Yeah.
The accolades.
He didn't give me any of the credit so far. Just occasionally he'll like tag me, but no.
It looks really good. I didn't know you did the branding. That's awesome.
Thanks. And I'll help him. Like, okay, like yesterday he had a profile pic that like looked terrible. He edited it himself and was like, stop. I can't let someone I'm related to look bad. So
my brother cannot look like this.
Only I can make fun of him, not everyone else. So I went home. I was tired. I drove home we were like a couple hours away, got home, edited the photo, sent it to him with his logo, and it looks 1,000,000% better.
I was actually because I follow him on my Instagram too, and I think I saw his profile and I was like, oh, that looks good. Like I noticed that he made a change. So, and I noticed his logo too. I was like, dude, you did a good job with this logo. I didn't know it was you.
It's me. Yeah, thank you. Thank you so much for the credit.
Wow. Yeah. That's awesome. I should tag you in his videos now. Like when I see him come up on my feed, I'll be like at Tanya, at totally Tanya.
Totally Tanya did a great job.
Totally Tanya did amazing on this branding. Or I'll leave it vague. Like, who did this branding for you?
Yeah.
Was it Totally Tanya?
Because I know she does design work.
I know Tanya is an amazing designer. Was it her?
Thank you.
Yeah.
But back to what I've been watching. So yeah, I don't know why, but like lots of TV shows ended recently. I don't know if you've seen, but like so I watched Barry, Succession, Marvelous Mrs. Maisel, and something else ended. I'm forgetting. Like there were 4 shows that ended on the same weekend, and I'm like, what is happening? And it's all shows I love, and I'm like, and especially with the writer's strike, I'm like, what is going to happen the next couple of years? We're going to have such a big delay in good content for a while, and that's making me very sad. I literally got emotional thinking about it because I love these. They consume my life. Mrs. Maisel definitely cried. That was very sad. I don't know if you finished it. Did you get to finish it?
I did. I forgot about that. I did finish it. I didn't cry, actually, if I'm honest, but I liked the ending. I'm kind of neutral on the ending, if I'm honest. I'm like neutral to positive. Yeah.
I thought they did such a good ending. Okay, tell me your thoughts.
I don't know. I'm like, it does make sense. Like, so throughout the season, we saw like, how her kids have grown up and like reacted, and like, her and Susie got into a fight or whatever. I don't know. I'm like, the way it ended, yes, it ends up being just like Susie and Midge, like their relationship is like the core of it. But I don't know. I left it kind of just being like, oh, okay. I don't know how else to describe it. I just like, I wasn't like moved. I wasn't incredibly moved. I was just like, okay, well, I guess that's how it ends.
That's fair. And I can see other people having that reaction. I was moved, and I don't know why, but if you, spoilers, anyone who hasn't seen it, by the way, her like those 4 minutes, just what she was talking about, and how I want a big life. And that got me. I don't know why. Cause like, I just think I felt all the 4 seasons, right? 4 or 5 seasons of seeing her, and then she finally gets it. And that's what got me. I was like, oh my God, it's happening. I started crying. I was like, why am I crying? This is a happy moment. So yeah, but I agree that like, they knew how it was going to end from the very beginning, like very early seasons. They knew that she would end up, the very last scene would be like her on a couch of a late night show. That would mean she got her big break. So they were trying to land the plane and like figure out a way to get there. And so I agree that like it was kind of anticlimactic because you know how it's going to end, right? You like knew that she was going to make it, and they showed it throughout the season. So I can see that. But yeah, I do love that she all like the loose ends were kind of tied with like Joel. She's still connected to Joel. It is sad that she's not connected as close to her kids. That makes me sad. But and her parents are proud of her. Yeah.
Her parent. I cried at that. I cried at like Abe, like realizing like, oh, I never like took her seriously. Like that made me really emotional. That was probably the part that like got me the most, where it was like she's the strongest of all of us, and I loved that. Yeah. But in terms of like her success, I don't know. I wasn't like rooting, and not that I wasn't rooting for her, I was, but by the end of it, I think I was like, at what cost? Like her kids dislike her. She's alone in this whole house by herself. I like kind of felt like that was kind of the point where it was like it cost her everything. Her ex-husband is in jail.
Right. And the person she's currently still in love with. Yeah.
Yeah. She had like 20 marriages that ended or like didn't go through. I think that's like what they were trying to say. I was like unclear of the messaging. It was like, was it she wanted this big life? She earned that big life. But like it didn't end for me where I was like happy for her. I was kind of like, oh, this is what you got from that. And I like wanted her to have a big life, but it did cost her everything. And I guess that's the point. I don't know. Yeah, I was confused.
I had the same thoughts. And I think that after reading like interviews and watching like people's takes on it, I think that the show all along was not about, what this big life, we all assumed the big life meant like, she's obviously superficial. She loves like the makeup, the clothes, all those things. And, she wants a million hats, all these things. But at the end of the day, her big life was a relationship with her and Susie, a friendship. And that's what I took away from it. Like, she walked through that big mansion eating alone with no one, not even her kids are with her. But at the end of the day, she's like happy, smiling, laughing with Susie. And that was my takeaway, that was the relationship that we were supposed to be rooting for since the beginning.
Yeah, I agree. And I liked that. When I saw that they had a fight, when they were fighting for a little bit, I was upset. I was like, I
Same.
dislike this. Although I
Turn it
understand,
off. Yeah.
yeah, I was like, I don't like this. But I get why they fought. And I think it was like a long time coming, especially with like her gambling problem. It's like this was gonna come to bite her eventually.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, it is. They're the core of the show for sure. So
Yeah.
I get that.
But yeah, all these shows on it. The other one I was thinking about that I forgot, obviously Ted Lasso. We just mentioned it. So, and that was an interesting choice. I wonder why they ended it. I'm glad they did because I was wondering like how far they could take the show, to be honest. But I'm glad when they end early. To be honest, don't push it if it doesn't need to be pushed. You know, you had a good 2 seasons, and yeah.
Ted, I love that show. I feel like this season was kind of rocky, if I'm honest.
Same.
I liked it. I cried a lot in this season, but I cry every season, honestly.
All the time. Just
all the time. I just cry all the time. But I knew that Ted leaving was going to happen.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if I loved how they did it, but it's okay. But I still like the show. It's still good.
I agree. It was all over the place. I was confused too. I didn't even know. I thought that they would have more lead up to it ending. It seemed very quick, and they're just like, and it's over. Goodbye forever.
Yeah. And like we were supposed to suddenly like Nate again. I felt like he didn't earn it.
Mm-mm.
I respect the like you forgive thing. Ted's a better person than me.
Yeah, same.
Yeah, like which he's a better person than most of us, which is fine.
Right.
But I just was like, I didn't feel like he earned the forgiveness, honestly. Not that I guess you don't need to earn forgiveness, right? Like that comes from each of us, but I don't know. I didn't forgive him by the end of it.
I just needed more. I don't think they could have saved so many episodes. Like we didn't need to see Nate working at that shop. Like I just felt like if they did want to bring him back, there were other ways they could have done that.
Yeah, I agree. It just was random and fast. We spent more than half the season not liking him, and then suddenly we were supposed to like him. Ted deciding to leave was kind of like hinted at in the beginning. It was, but it just kind of like you're just like, oh my gosh, he's just leaving. Like, oh, how am I supposed to like emotionally cope with this now? And like, I don't know. Was he happy at the end? I can't tell if he was happy.
Same. That's where I'm also left like, I just want more closure. I don't think I had enough closure with he just got into therapy. You know what I mean? So I wonder if like, obviously like he realized his son brings him true joy and happiness, but like, again, at what cost? Like you came back to the States, you seemed happy abroad. I don't know.
And like they hinted that his ex-wife was not into her new boyfriend, you know, in that whole scene where like the final game or whatever, and like he was being annoying and not really paying attention to the game. So I was like, are they hinting that like they're gonna get back together? Is that what they're telling you? I don't know. Or like,
which is like not what I felt like. She was making good strides to, you know, move on from that marriage, and so that would be going backwards, I feel.
Yeah, I don't know. But I guess he only left because he was so hurt by his wife. Yeah, it is just more questions than answers sometimes against some of this. And like Beard gets married and he's not there. That pissed me off. I'm like, what? Ted can't go back to England at all? Like
he's got the money. Yeah.
He totally has the money. I don't get it.
More questions. Yeah, I wonder if they will bring it back. I wonder if they'll just do little one-off like Christmas episodes and things like that just to bring it back. I wonder if they'll do that.
I would love that. It is a good show. It is really pure. I looked forward to it every week, even if I thought the season was rocky. I still enjoyed it. I had fun. Yeah, we're on like summer break now. There's no new content. The summer's always kind of like a drought of content.
We do? Yeah,
I know.
Our life is meaningless now, you guys, for the next like 3 months until fall shows come back.
Yeah, which who knows what fall shows will come back because of this writer strike.
Right. Who knows? Which, by the way, we haven't talked about like pay the writers, give them what they're asking for, everyone. I don't know why it's still happening. Like, why is it still going on, the strike?
I don't know either. It's actually kind of nonsense. They're asking for like residuals on streaming, which just is like logic. Yes, everyone watches streaming now. Give them residuals. And then what else? Like not to use ChatGPT to replace their work, which like is also just logic. I'm all for using ChatGPT when it makes sense, but it does not replace actual creative writers. right?
No.
Like, no, not at all. So useless.
Yeah. I agree. Yeah, should not replace a human's job. And it's proven time and time again to not like be as creative as actual humans. So keep their job. Maybe
It's
in the
not.
future, 20 years from now, you guys, but we're not there yet. Do not replace writers' jobs ever, ideally.
And if it does become that creative, it's also on the backs of people, right? Like
Yes.
that's human mind. Those people deserve to be paid. Like if an AI becomes that intelligent, then all of the people that were contributed to that data should be paid accordingly to help create this like super computer, like
Right.
that all comes from us. Like
It
that
learned
doesn't
from
come out of
us.
nowhere.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So they should be compensated. Yeah.
I mean, I could go off about the like AI art thing because that is the
Yeah.
most stupid thing also. Like AI needs some regulations. I'm like, I think it has very useful uses, right? Like we've talked about this. I like it to like write emails for me, X, Y, and Z. I think there are things like that that are useful. But when it's like taking creativity and like people's work and making it their own, then like, yeah, that's bad.
Yeah.
No go. 0% for it.
We'll have to
When it
have an
comes to that.
episode about, yeah, for sure. Because, like, obviously it's a new thing. So, like, it's not being fully regulated yet. But yeah, I do get mad on, like, we're on LinkedIn a lot to, like, talk about our other business that we do. And I see a lot of posts about, like, all the ways you can use chat. You're not using chat GPT the way you should be to its full potential, dum-dums. And then I'll just post a bunch of things about like stealing from like art and stuff. So I'm like, no, stop. Like, I don't care if you're trying to get like followers from this post. Talk about like the repercussions of using
Yeah,
AI art.
it's gross. It's
Mhm.
people are just trying to make a quick buck and are like you trying to use these things to do that rather than like having it be a legitimate facilitator to your work. I think it can absolutely help reduce some busy work and like help you creatively think of like it can do things to help like
Yeah.
organize your thoughts along the process, but it cannot replace human creativity, nor should it take that work and call it theirs. Like I've seen AI artists, a whole thing where they're like, I'm an
Oh
artist.
god.
Like
Icky.
that's stupid. Like you
No, you're
actually
not.
think you're an no, yeah,
You
you're a
can type in
thief.
prompts. Yeah, you're a thief.
Yeah, that's what you're doing. You're a art thief with a fancy computer. Like you didn't create that. That's not yours. You just studied, copy pasted other people's stuff and create something for you,
Yeah.
essentially.
1,000%.
Stupid. Yeah. And you can tell I run into AI art now all the time. Like I was on a Medium article and there was like there was like an image on the article and you can tell by the hands. There was like 6 fingers.
It's
I'm
always
like,
the hands.
it's always the hands. And I'm like, I know I suck at hands. So like my art probably helped train this because my hands suck. So this is where it came from. Like this is stupid. Like stop doing this. Ridiculous.
Oh god, yeah, and you can tell that person used AI instead of paying a marketing professional to do that.
No, yeah, they didn't. And it's like if you're going to use art, then they need to pay the artist in which they're referencing that work to create new work. Like every artist should get a royalty from art that is referenced by these AI platforms. Honestly, if that's passive income, I'm not mad about that if that ends up being a thing.
That'd be tight, yeah.
But pay the artists. Like they deserve, the ones training this deserve to be paid.
Yeah.
For sure.
I'm curious how this all play out, whether it'll be like a federal law or if it'll be state by state basis. But yeah, there should be protections with like the government is so slow with tech, so slow already that like I don't know, it's going to take a while for them to have laws put in place to keep, people's jobs. So we'll see.
Meanwhile, like Elon Musk says that we need to like halt AI for like the safety of humanity, and we're just like going for it. Have you seen this?
I haven't seen that, but I have seen like one of Google's AIs, their like top AI person like left, and for good reason. He like wasn't bashing Google, but he was saying like AI is reaching a point to lead to like catastrophic results, and we need to stop. And he like left, and now he's talking about it with people. So I've seen that, but I haven't seen what Elon said.
Yeah, he literally was like, I think we need to put a pause. He like signed a petition where it's like we need to put a pause on AI for like at least 6 months because we're on a track to like human destruction.
We could
Love
have a
to
whole
see it.
episode about this guy because let's
Yeah.
pay your workers fair wage first. Let's let's
Minor
like not
details.
go that route if you're anti-union. Number one, if you care about people, I think that you shouldn't be talking about that.
Minor detail. It's true. You're not wrong. You take everything he says with like the littlest grain of salt. It's true.
Yeah.
Tiniest little grain.
To wrap up Fangirl Finds, I did watch Into the Spider-Verse, the new one, the second one, and it's so good. Please go watch it, Olivia, and I think we should talk about it in detail when you're done.
Yes, I need to. I loved that first movie. I need to go see it. It's on my list. I'll go to the theater by myself, honestly. I want to see it. Yeah, I'll go. So good.
If I lived closer, I'd drive and watch it with you again because it's just so good. I don't want to give too much away. I think I'm gonna make like a small like TikTok about it, my thoughts, because just the pacing, everything, they get it. They have such geniuses on this. They got it down, and it's funny. And I didn't cry, but I got emotional. Like they got me.
Yeah, I agree. They're just so good. The art style is next level. So unique, so beautiful, inspiring. A+. It has Oscar Isaac.
Oscar Isaac's in it, and I can't say something. No, I can't say something that I was gonna say.
Is a spoiler?
A little spoiler about like cameos. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah. I only know like Oscar Isaac, obviously Jake Johnson. I love him.
That's what I was gonna say. He comes back.
Yeah.
Not Schmidt. Nick.
Yeah, I love him.
As always, hilarious. He's so funny.
He's the perfect Spider-Man. Whoever picked him for like the original Peter Parker, I'm like, no notes. A+.
No notes. Yeah, give that person more money. And then obviously Haley Steinfeld, amazing voice actress. She should keep getting those roles. She's so good.
She is. Yeah, she was in Arcane.
Yeah.
She was really good in that. Yeah. Well, thank you guys for listening to Fangirl Finds. This is a mini-sode version of our episodes now. We're trying to break these out because we like this part of the episodes. So we figured we'd break it out and we get 2 episodes now. Bye.
Follow, like, subscribe. Bye.
Follow, like, subscribe. Bye.